Hello. It's been a little bit. I've been doing other things. Past couple months, been working on a game you might have seen that came out, Please Stay Away. And now that that is pretty much done, I'll probably be releasing it standalone in a few months. But now that that's out of the way for now, I am going to be continuing work on Everyone Is Here and trying to get this out later this year. Not really sure when, but I will see. And I shall just get to it. I'm just sharing my whole screen, hoping this isn't do weird stuff, doesn't show anything weird. Because I'm going to be doing some work in Unity, as well as some work and some scripting today, I think, tonight. Let's see, let's open up. For some reason my ambience is a little louder than it was before. No, I don't know what the levels are like. Let's lower that. And hopefully this is good level here. What you're currently listening to is ASMR Alien Isolation Nap Time near a computer console. I think that should be good. Let's see. Oh, bring this over here. And I just gotta go through my to-do list here. I know last stream my webcam was cutting in and out, but I think I might have solved it temporarily at least. But I'll keep an eye, try to keep an eye on that. Okay. I need to change some stuff to some lerping. Is one thing. This code right here for the wind, I can maybe show that off. Let's see. Actually, let me check my desktop audio, because I remember last stream also there was like a giant lag on the audio for some reason. I'm not seeing anything weird set up, so hopefully it's in time. I guess I'll find out later. That ambience is really loud compared to this. Let me pause that. You can like just hear that. It's really quiet. Okay, should be able to hear this. Yeah, the wind is just what you're hearing right now. It's just this noise that I think the pitch goes in and out, gets changed around and stuff. Back. That's what I'm doing. Just trying to make this code a little cleaner. Because I've been finding some satisfaction in doing that. That is if I want to change this. I get to remember there's a reason I wanted to simplify this. It's because I wanted the wind to cut out at a certain point and then come back. But if the wind is, if the volume is changing over time, it's gonna butt heads with trying to program this. So let's see. I was also just not even sure how this code even works anymore. If it's really, I think how I did it is really weird. So I might almost end up just redoing the whole thing. So like while wind volume does not equal the target wind volume, we'll get the wind volume change, and we'll just update the volume with that change. And then if wind volume equals target, and target wind is not equal, wind vol range.x. Target wind vol range.x. I'm pretty sure wind vol range is just the range of volumes in which I want the volume to like waver between, and the code here picks some random value between the minimum and maximum. In this case, it's just an x and a y. It's maybe a little unclear using a vector 2 for this, so I was thinking of just doing like a wind vol min and wind volume max variable instead. I might make it a little more clear. Like why would I set it to the minimum? Target wind vol direction equals -1. I don't get this code, what this is doing. So the wind volume equals target, but then once that does equal that, which this will do that. What? What is the purpose of this? Okay, so we're at the minimum. We're changing the wind volume direction by default to -1. Actually, yeah, well, how am I treating that variable? But wind ambience, yeah, 0.3 to 0.9. My audio, little audio objects here. Is this what I'm using? Huh. This must be... Yeah, this came with this plugin that I have that Brogan Hackett made, the first person. It's a good little thing. Because it has this jetpack audio that I used. I wonder if that was supposed to be the final one or not. Maybe I'll make a new unique audio clip for that. Just some other type of noise, maybe with instruments or with my mic or something. But that doesn't matter right now. Volume, yeah, 0 to 1, 0.744. This wind volume change time range is just varying how fast it's going to be going between the different volumes, which I probably going to be switching that around. Yeah, maybe I'll just redo this. This is weird. Like, what is this doing? Time minus and if enough time has passed since we last changed the wind volume, then we reset the time, current wind volume change time, so resetting, he's choosing some random value for how fast we want the volume to change, and then we set the target wind volume. Yellow game, how's that been going? Hi early. It's been going pretty good. I've been like on and off of it for a while. My motivation has wavered quite a bit over the past like year or more, 1, 2, 3 years. But since finishing this game that I was working on for 2 months, I've been kind of keeping the ball rolling and I've found motivation to continue work on this. And it's also, I can see like an end to development and what it's going to look like, and kind of excited to get it out there. Been a long time since I've seen you live. Well, thanks for stopping in. I haven't seen you in a while as well. I think it's been a couple of years. How do we determine the wind volume direction, which is what the DIR stands for in my case? Target wind volume gets changed to something random within the range. And then it's just whether target, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. But what the hell is this doing? I don't know if there's a purpose to this. It's like once we get to the target wind volume, then we're changing the wind volume target to the minimum wind volume for some reason. And we know that the direction will be -1 because we know that it's not equal to the minimum. So that means it's got to be greater than the minimum, so the direction is going to be negative. Can I hear that in the game? Why did I do this? This is weird. Last time I think I may even saw you back in my hometown, maybe 2019. What to say? It's been 20. I guess COVID stuff. Yeah, that might have been. I hope you're doing well. Actually, no. I mean, I can try to hear it, but a better way to do this is just to let's just print this out and see how this changes. I've been writing too much TypeScript at my job lately. Debug.log? Yeah. I had my ups and downs, lots of them right now, just focusing on my job and my family. I hope you, wish you luck with that. I know that stuff can be tough. Both of those things in different ways. Yeah, best of luck navigating that. Life can be challenging sometimes. Let's see. So I think I've explained this on stream before, but just rehashing. The game view that you're seeing, or the editor view here, is using this mipmaps like shading or like render mode, so that I can see what's going on in this environment. Because the way that I render this, the only way to like see things is through fog. Just however I have set up, which is why it looks weird, and which is why it looks the way it does. But yeah, when I do shaded, it looks just like a very foggy nothing. That's very hard to see. Which, I mean, actually, now that I think about it, I might be able to just like turn the fog on and off. Oh yeah, never mind. Because when you turn fog off, then it looks like this, and it's just one homogeneous mess of shit. Because there's no lighting. There's no lighting. There's only fog. The fog is the only way to see things. So it works in game because you only need to see so far. But in here, I want to see further, so I need to do this mipmaps thing, which I believe just takes a point at every direction that you like look at, and just determines the distance from the camera, and further things are red shifted, just closer things are blue shifted. A foggy void, more or less. Yeah, big old foggy void. Okay, yeah. I think I had determined that this doesn't do anything. So let's do that. I keep clicking on OBS instead of Unity. Now, is this a solo project or a group project? This is a completely solo project. Minus some plugins that I've used, that other people have created and kindly put out into the internet to be used for commercial projects. But I will probably double check that is a thing. I'll probably put this game out for money when I'm done with it, but I'm not glued to it. I just don't want to devalue my work, other people's work, and you know, get some kind of compensation for my time besides just the fruit of my labor of the finished video game. I am distracting myself. But yeah, this with the wind sounds the same. I don't know what that code was there for. But let me also get rid of this and get rid of that log. But yeah, the idea for what I need to fit with this is instead of changing the wind volume directly, I'm gonna change this like wind volume diff, and then like every frame I will like update the volume to whatever the base wind volume is plus the diff, and then the base wind volume will change like however I want it. So I can change both of these at the same time instead of yeah, something like that. The only other major game I remember you working on was that TV game. I forgot the title of it. Some friend. I am. No, you're good. There's a bunch of games with a bunch of weird titles. That's a game with a TV in it, so you're pretty much there. I actually just pitched that game to a publisher that on Twitter was looking for projects. So I guess I'll see where that goes. But I intend to get to that probably next year. I want to finish this game probably in the summer. Although I do want to keep my summer somewhat open to just doing summer activities. So I'll see where that goes. But so it's inflexible, might be like August timeline or like end of the year timeline. Not sure yet. But then, and then it would go. Once that's done, I'm gonna finish Snowy Castle game, which is the game that I released in the Haunted PS1 demo disc in 2020. And then I'm gonna work on TV game / maybe possibly also working on No One Is Here 3, which is that blue game that I've posted about on Twitter and such, about like crash landing on a alien planet. And No One Is Here 3 is just a tentative title. This game was originally was calling it, or the second title I was giving it was No One Is Here 2, just because it's similar to No One Is Here, but I gave it a better title, I think. All right, I am not doing two things at once. Let's see. Okay, I think I can get rid of this. I'm just gonna get rid of that. And I mean, I could probably just leave this code as is and just, yeah, I think I'll do that. I don't need to change this into some shit. Like this works. This works fine. I will just alter the wind audio volume. I'll just do this and so uncomment that out and replace everywhere where I'm setting this to this. Find wind volume. Yep, that's fine. Target wind. Yep. Just anywhere where wind audio.volume is referenced, just changing it to this. And then base wind volume. I will just set that to yeah, okay, that's in getting set down here. It's getting sent to whatever I sent it to initially. It would also be cool to do update wind pitch, like do some pitch stuff too. I think that would be kind of neat. I could probably just copy the same code or use the same code and yeah, no, I think that might be a good, I'm gonna experiment that with a little bit. Nice. I still remember playing your Tsunami Thief game and doing bird %. Yeah. I'm still really proud of that game, the Great Tsunami Thief. That one I created with a small team of other students at University of Wisconsin Stout, which is fun. My first and possibly only platformer game, or at least 2D platformer, because this is literally a platformer, just a 3D platformer, 3D first-person platformer. Okay, this should be good. I will need to, since this is now changing a diff that's added onto this base wind volume, the wind volume range is gonna have to change because it represents different values now. So I'm gonna take a look at what those are set to. That's 0.03 to 0.9. So that's about, I think I should be able to do negative values. So 0.3, the default volume that I have it set is like 0.75. So 0.75 minus 0.3, 0.45. So minus 0.45. Then 0.9, that is 1.5, that's 0.15 more. So do that. And then this should be identical. Wind volume speed's the same. It's really quiet and compared to everything else. Why is the FOV suddenly like that? Why is what? Oh, there's some shit going on. Where has not yet been assigned. I don't care that this hasn't been assigned. What? Can I? There's some weird stuff going on with the escape key. I don't know what's causing that. I shouldn't need it anyways. And I need to see what's going on with the volume. Something's not working here. Yeah, I don't get why it feels like I need these two things to be filled in and then assigned. Why does that matter? Like, I'm going to be using these. Is it because it's because of that? And that's why. Oh, I see. Okay. Why doesn't this bring me to that then? To this problem? What's happening is I don't have these two variables set in my scene. So then when it gets to this start function and tries to use those variables to set these, it fails to do that, and then none of this gets called. So it's causing some issues. Oh, that's why. Oh, wind volume is right there, so it's not calling that. Okay, I need to. I could do some checks to make sure this is set, or I just don't care, and this is the only place that this is going to get used. So I'll just set these instead. That's easier. I need to get around to playing more of your games. Granted, I'm still working on my book from 2014, so yeah. That's cool. I remember you talking about that. It's cool that you're still working on it. I imagine a book is a whole other deal to work on. I've thought about doing a book, but I'm just I don't know. I'm not great with words all the time. I'm kind of an iterator. In terms of any art, I like to iterate a lot on stuff to eventually get to something I like. It's usually never. I can usually never get to something right away. That's pleasing to me. I had to, do a lot of iterations. Took a long break mainly due to writer's block, but I'm slowly getting back into it. Glad to hear. I hope you are able to continue on with that. Having a creative outlet is nice. What was I doing? I need to set these two things. What I'm gonna do is have two empty objects, and I'm gonna put those into. I'm gonna slot those into here, and that will determine when the wind volume drops all the way to 0, and then when it comes back, which is all the way on the bottom here. Let's see. That has to do with the wind audio source, so I'll just make those two game objects. Child of the wind audio source here. And I'll go to the bottom here. Also, bit of a spoiler warning, I guess, for this game while watching this. Let's put it right like here. Gap start, game object, align with view. Yeah, so that's where the wind will stop. I'm just gonna be taking the Y value of this. And then I'll duplicate that to, what did I call it? Gap start, gap end. Just to keep the naming similar. And then gap end will be like, I don't know, way down here. Just right here. Alignment view. There we go. So I'll just be taking the Y value of gap end, gap start. In between those values, that's when the wind will cut out. So then I'm gonna go here. Wind start location, plug that in, game end location, bam. And this is the only instance of this script being used, so yeah, I don't care about errors with like this stuff. Like if I were to if this were to be like a really big game and it was going to be expanded on a bunch, like I would do more due diligence, or I would do my due diligence and like put a bunch of checks everywhere to make sure you're putting stuff in the right places and you're setting different variables and things. But in this case, I don't care. It works. And it's mostly clean. Some of my older code, I think I could have done better. But it is what it is. I know how to do stuff better now. Let's see. Let's test the wind audio. I think that's still not working. What's happening with that? I might do a console out there. What's going on there? Wind vol range, -4.5 to that. And the wind source, yeah, it starts at 0.74. I probably should put a check. Let's see. I'm gonna do something here. Let's see. I'm gonna make 2 new variables, winvol. I'm gonna do the min-max thing. Winvol max, assuming those aren't already a thing. And for gap start right here. I want just thinking how I want to structure this. Ambience back on. Let's rewind it. Rethinking this wind volume range again. Just thinking of ways to clean this up and make it more intuitive. Here. Because now that I'm not changing the volume, but I'm changing this little diff that gets added onto the volume. The maximum and the minimum kind of mean different things now. It's not like a range, it's like, this is how much you can go below it, this is how much you can go above it, and I want different values for those 2 things. So it's not really like a range anymore, it's something else. So like I want to like rename this. I think I'm gonna get rid of that. Instead, well, yeah. This can stay as it is. That's fine. But then I'm going to do float winvol. Max lower diff. Max lower diff. Winvol max lower diff. Like what's the maximum that you can go lower than the base, and how much can you? Yeah. YouTube is buffering. There we go. And then max higher diff. I don't love those variable names, but they're pretty descriptive. Because you'll have an amount you want to go lower than the base, how much you want to go higher, and then this is the max amount. But yeah, I kind of wanted to do some, so that in case I change the volume of the in case I change the volume of the audio source, since that's like a separate thing, that's like right here. If I ended up changing that to like what is lower than what I have like this thing set to, or like where it would like bring it down to 0. Well, but then I could just clamp it to 0. Then it doesn't even matter. Let's just do that. Wind vol, let's get rid of that. Don't need that. And then let me replace right here. Lower diff. Target. Oh, I see what I'm doing. I see what's happening. This target wind. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Wind vol. Higher diff. Alright, my friend. Hope your night goes well. Gonna head to bed since I gotta be up and work at 6 a.m. That is early. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by early. Nice to hear from you. Okay. So what is happening? Target wind. I don't know. No, this is fine, right? But this target wind vol is no longer target wind vol, it's target. Where are you? Target wind vol. I'm gonna rename that to target wind vol. Is it diff? Vol diff or diff vol? I think it's vol. I don't know. Wind vol diff. Target wind vol diff. Yeah. Yep. That's it. That's the naming is now consistent and a little more clear. So a little easier to work through all this. Wind vol diff. Now what am I setting it to? Am I setting it to something initially? Wind volume. What the hell is this? What is this? Wind volume equals this equals this? I guess you can do that. Wind volume. I think that's like saying this? Is that what it's doing? Is that what that's equivalent to? So it's like it does like this equals this, and then it takes this and makes this equal to that. Let's see if this makes sense. We default the target wind volume diff to the lower part, like the lowest it can go. And then do that. No, we don't want to do that. We want to not touch the actual wind audio volume. We want that to be by default. Maybe that's what was happening. That's why at the very first frame I could hear the audio, and then it just like cut all the way down because I was setting it right away. Maybe it was something like that. So target wind volume equals that. This might actually work already. Defaulting the volume direction up. Current wind volume. Change time. Is that. That's fine. That equals that. That equals that. Base wind volume. Equals that. Yep. I think it might just work now. Let's turn the audio ambience off. And that sounds like it was sounded like before. And then that is alright. So that's now compatible with changing this base volume by itself. What happens? What happens if you try to set it to I think if you try to set the volume to something lower than 0 or like higher than 1, it just clamps it automatically. But I would also like to try that out. So I'll go to update. Let's comment out update wind and let's just change wind audio dot volume. Let's just change that to -1. And then what happens? Turn off the maximize on play. Get set to 0. Have it set it to 2. Make it set to 1. Okay, so there's auto clamping there. And while I'm here, let's see what the pitch sounds like. Oh yeah, I definitely need that. And having those the volume and the pitch like changing at the same time, like interdependently, I think that'll sound really good. I should do that. Let's go on a tangent together. Let's do it. Update wind volume. Oh yeah, since this is like that, let's do update wind volume instead. And then there will also be, let's take that, because pitch is before volume, P is before V. Let's do this, change that to pitch. And then it just works. Holy shit, it just works. I'm gonna need some of the same variables here. I can probably, now I'll just have I'll copy these. Yeah, wind vol, I'll just change that to pitch, and then it'll all be the same kind of stuff. Let's do it. Same kind of logic. I can just kind of copy and paste and change everything to pitch, and it should pretty much work because all the logic should work for pitch just as well as it should for audio. I believe. Yeah, I think that should be fine. I'm going to need a current wind vol. Target, yep, need all of that. Plus I need wind vol diff. Wait, why is there another wind vol diff? Oh. I want to do wind vol diff, wind vol direction. And then I take all of this. It's a lot of stuff. Can I do... Oh. What does Control R do? What did I just do? I think it's fine. I want to change the instances of wind to pitch. Shift F3. Target wind vol. Place that. No, why are you going up? Oh. Oh, this is so weird. Last wind vol, there we go. Replace. Nope, don't use that one though. Oh fuck, I did the wrong thing. Yeah, do that. I'm not changing when I'm changing vol. Vol to pitch. Replace. Done. Okay. I think I'm good to go. And then this should be pretty straightforward. It has all the same shit. Base wind. Base windu. I started using at my workplace like there's like code complete, like AI code completion, and if there was a good use of AI, that is one of them. It saves a lot of time and it's quite nice when it works. Other times it just suggests a whole block of code that's just useless. It's just like, why would I don't need that. Let's copy all that. Target wind, vol, not vol, but pitch. Wind, pitch. Max, lower diff. Pitch. Current, wind, pitch. Change time. Just a random. That. Got to turn the ambience back on. I need that for my own sanity as well. So I need to be hearing things at all times. Okay, that's all good. All of the initialization stuff is good. The update when pitch is getting called. And then here, I just need to change all of this. Windfall. Okay, let's do the thing I was doing. Ball. Replace it with pitch. I did the thing again. Pitch, pitch. Are all of these? Yeah, they should all be. Except for that one. That's the one. That should be the one thing where. Okay, that should be good. Base wind pitch. That. Theoretically, this should just work because it's the same code. It's just changing one thing rather than the other. And oh right, I didn't even set these things. So I don't even think the wind was changing at all. That was like 0.45, 0.15, something like that. Say point. Yeah, that's fine. Then pitch. Just stick it to 1. The change of that. It's just. Who cares about that? Then to pitch. Lower diff. What was that at? 0.7? Pitch is at 0.7. It sounded pretty good at 0.4. Maybe I'll do some experimenting, but I'll just give it some initial values here. Let's just say, yeah, 0.4. I have this. I need this to be a negative, I think, still. I was thinking. Yeah, I think this needs to be a negative. Because it's getting added on to the base volume, the base pitch. Yeah. Yeah, that needs to be a negative still. And then we'll just copy that. Alright. What does this sound like? I think it'll be good to... Actually, these are working. I'm gonna isolate these. Let's test, let's see. How does the pitch sound first? Are these at good levels? I think the lower pitch is too low. Change that to like 25. And also let's change the time, the minimum time, because sometimes it's like going really quickly between these. Change time range. Or, oh, wait, that's how this is getting used. Hold up. The way this is getting set is that this is the whether or not it actually gets to the target wind pitch or not doesn't matter. Like it could be like it's making a big change in the pitch, but then in the middle of that, because the current wind pitch time is like at the lower end, because it gets set between these two values. If it's at the lower end, it's just gonna change the target pitch suddenly, and so you get these like sudden changes, which I think that could be fine. There's a certain quality to that, but maybe I might want it to be smooth. Let's see. I want them. This is interesting. I've never like. The last time I was streaming, like working on my game, it was like just level design, which is like. That's like I only need to think so much about that. I don't know. But like trying to think about like code and stuff while streaming is interesting because it's a lot more complex and it's a lot more stuff I need to explain instead of just like showing like, oh, I want to make this thing a little higher. I want a little indent in here. Guess I feel like I had to explain more. Get the camera back up here. Alright, let's see. I know I want the lower to be higher, or that the lower end. It's still going a little too low. It like sounds like you're going into a tunnel, and I do not have that functionality going into the game. That would be confusing. Yeah, no, I kind of like the jumpiness. Because, I mean, like, wind just does that sometimes. Just, like, suddenly course corrects. And, I don't know. Adds more stuff. And also, means I don't have to go in and change a bunch of shit. So this works. So, yep, the changing function works. I could probably make some generic function that I could use like this, so I don't have to keep doing this, but I have not got around to that. I don't know. And I kind of like doing it over and over again, because who cares? Alright, pitch sounds good. Let's comment that out and check the wind again. Just the wind volume, see if this sounds good. I think the lows could be a little higher. Lowest volume. Change that to like 3. And I think that's good. I think that's good for now. If I'm noticing it or something while I'm doing other stuff, I'll change it. Okay, so that is that. How does that sound together? Again. There's like a big jump there. Does that happen every time? At the start? Yeah, what's happening there? There's like a half a second and then it like drops suddenly, and that's like every time. What's going on there? that the pitch or is that... Okay, let's... I'm not setting the pitch or the volume to anything here. Maybe it's because of what I'm setting. Target wind volume diff equals... Let's see, hold up. Wind volume diff. What is the wind volume diff getting set to in the beginning? Wind volume diff. Ah, that should be set to the target right away. I want to start at a baseline. Target wind pitch diff equals that. Yeah. Actually, no, I don't want this to be, I want to set these to 0 by default. Let's just keep them at the, yeah. So we're starting the target and the diff at the same time. I want it to start changing right away. So I need this current wind pitch change time, current wind volume change time. I don't need that. I just want that to be like 1. Current wind volume change time. I want that to be 1. And I want last pitch change time. That time. I want to set these up to where they'll trigger that code right away. So the target and the volume and the target and the diff, or the target and the actual like diffs are going to be the same, but the time elapsed is going to act like as if it's time to choose a new target. So last wind volume change is going to equal time minus current wind. Yeah. Same thing for this. And I think that should work. If it's greater than or equal. And that will be equal. So that it should call this on the first frame. These will be equal, so this one get called. But I'm setting this up to where at the first frame this is going to be true, and then it's going to choose a new direction and change and all that, and it's going to start doing this, and it's going to get going right away. And I think that will get rid of that little hiccup at the start. Just want to check quick though. Did I comment that thing out? No, I didn't. Okay. Yeah, what does it sound like? This should sound good. Just try it again. There was a little thing at the beginning. No, I think that Yeah, no, I'm just hearing things. Or just like, that's just the randomness at play. Okay. Fix that. Make the lower pitch a little higher again. Still sounding a little low. Like as if you're in a tunnel. Oh, it's because I didn't set it. Okay. Like that. That should be good. Okay. All that shit's good. Now to that. I want the wind to cut out. So update wind. Maybe I'll group these together a little bit. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I could just have another update function that'll change. That'll check when the player's Y value is within the gap. And when it's in the gap, I will start the changing the base wind volume to go to 0. But then I also want to make sure that the problem is when base wind volume is 0, like, oh, I want the wind audio to cut out like completely. This wind volume diff could still go higher, and then it's just gonna go up more. But maybe I don't want it to go out. No, I do want it to go out completely. Which I think I can solve that by doing like this multiplied by like a scalar, like by like when base wind volume is at the normal value, which I think that means I'm going to need a base wind volume. I just gotta change order of things here. I want to change base wind on another variable called original wind volume to keep track of that. So it's going to be going from the original wind volume to 0. I was doing that wrong. Okay. Base wind volume. Original wind volume. Oh, I could do that thing again. Let's do original wind volume equals this equals that. Bam. So then I can change base wind volume freely, and this I'll still have the original, whatever it was that was set at. Then for the scalar, update wind volume. What would this scalar be? Upon base wind volume divided by the original wind volume. It's only going to go between the base from the original and 0. So that's never going to go greater than 1. If it did, I got other problems to deal with. By default, that's going to be 1. And then as base wind volume gets lower, that's going to approach 0 until base wind volume is 0, and then this is 0, and then there's no diff, and then this is going to be 0. And then I solved it. Okay, we're good. Hey. Math. I like math. Update wind volume. I can maybe put the code right in here. Maybe I'll do like a little... Let's see. I could just keep this code going. I don't care about this. But just don't touch this. But then also... then change the base wind volume right here. Let's see, do I have the player player.position.y? I am already using that, so that's perfect. And I have the gap start, the gap end. Beautiful. So this should be pretty straightforward. If player dot position, and then there's going to be a transition period between the thing. Target. I'm going to need like a target. Wait, no. I'm gonna need some variables. Hold up. Let's see, what variables do I need? There's so many variables for the wind. Wind ambience. Yeah, that's a fine header. That's a fine how do you do. Camera doesn't seem to be dropping out, so that's good. Hopefully audio levels have been good. I did a little test recording and it sounded fine. Definitely a lot more looking at code this stream. Let's see. Let's let these live right here. I need how fast it's gonna be going. How fast the base wind volume change speed. Let's go with that, sure. I kind of want to change that to wind volume change speed. I think I might do that. I know that was set to 1, so that should be fine. Wind volume change speed, that's more descriptive. Also longer, but then it's in line with this, and I think that's good. Let's change that. 1. Then also while I'm at it, I'm changing things around. Let's do wind pitch change speed. I don't know, that makes more sense to me. Wind pitch change speed, change to 1. Let's just default that to 1. Cause don't know till I try. Let's just go for that for now. I think that's fine. Well, actually, this is a perfect opportunity to just do a lerp. Because that's what I've been trying to do lately, and it's been nice. Just using lerps for things. So, I don't actually need a speed, I need a time for a lerp. So base wind volume change time. This is how long it will change. It will take the change from the original volume to 0 and then back. I think I'll just use the same change time for both directions. I don't need a different variable for both. So let's do that. What do I need? I'll just start programming. I'll just start coding it down here and then make the variables as I need them. So f player dot position dot y is less than gap. What did I call it? Start y. It's less than start y, and it's greater than. I'll just make them equals for why not? Doesn't really matter. They're floats. But when gap end y. If it is within the gap. How's this gonna work? I'm gonna be lerping. Like, let's just have like wind base wind vol equals math dot lerp. I'm just gonna write this out. This is probably not going to be where this lives, but I'm gonna need to know while it's in the gap. While it's in the gap and while base wind vol does not equal 0. Keep lerping from original wind volume to base wind volume. And then also the perk of using a lerp is well, I guess you could do this with other stuff, but I figured out that you can do animation curves. Base wind volume change time. Float base wind volume change curve. That's not a float, that is a animation curve, which in this case I'm using not for animation. Base wind vol change curve. Which is going to be used to calculate the time mod. It's called time mod. Base wind vol change curve dot evaluate. And then I put in here. What will I put in here? Actually, maybe in this case, it might be easier just to do not lerping. Maybe. Just with the current idea I have in my head for how to do this. Also, again, this is, I'm listening to ASMR Alien Isolation nap time near a computer console. That's the ambience that's playing right now. I had some comments here too. Winvol diff update.
update wind vol diff, and then here's update base wind vol. Because that is what's happening. Base wind vol with gap. That's yeah, that's fine. Let's see. When you get into the gap, like if I were to do a lerp, I would want a way to determine like I want like when you enter the gap on one frame you do this thing, and then on one frame when you exit the gap I want you to do this one thing, which I could do. I think I don't do a lerp. I think it doesn't matter. But the lerp's so nice. But also, it's really not that much different than just doing it this other way. Like a lerp just makes it like you feel like you want to do a lerp, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes you just do this shit instead, which is one way that I've done it for a while. But then sometimes, in some cases, it is quite nice to just do a lerp. Do I have some code in here? Actually, I want to show. No, I don't want to explore my desktop on stream. There might be some things. There might be some things on there. It would be nice to be able to do this wind volume change curve. I'm guessing I'm thinking about would there be a case in which you could like enter and exit the gap very quickly? Because I like to code stuff to where it accounts for stuff like that, where you're turning something on and off on and off again, or whatever. So I'd want to cover for that base, but I'm not sure that the player would theoretically be doing that. Not fast enough anyways. Like maybe you would like go down that little chute to get to the start of the gap, and then maybe you might climb your way back up. But like, no, I should account for that. I think I should account for that. I'm getting a slight headache, I think because of the cat ears. I'm gonna take the cat ears off. Solved. Hopefully. Do I need an animation curve? It would be nice to have an animation curve. Yes, it would be. It'd be nice to do that. And I should do that. I'm gonna create a boolean. Mass wind pitch volume changing base windfall. Believe booleans. Oh, I'm changing that wrong plate. That's in the wrong spot. Windfall right here. Cool. Base win. Oh no, I want that. I want that here. I want that right here. No, I want that right here. Base windfall. Changing. Should get defaulted to false. But when just comment that both out. But F, it is changing. If we're changing, then we're lerping. How do we determine what we're going to and from? Well, we're gonna need variables for that. Or we have like a target. Maybe if we do a target. Yeah, let's do a target. Target. Target base wind vol. Target base wind vol. F. Oh no, even better. Let's do this. Math lerp. Target wind vol. Target wind target base wind vol. If that is that equal to this might be this should be good. Oh, the timeout up there. Heavy is the weight of the crown. Wait. Am I supposed to say this? Heavy is the weight of the crown. H. Oh, I don't. Is that if that an emoji? I don't see that on my. I don't see that on OBS. Something cat ears. The cat ear crown is very heavy indeed. Oh, there are 3 viewers. Hello, 3 viewers. Thank you for stopping by. Also, thank you for the follow, Frades. I like that name. Oh no, that is not an emoticon, an emoji, or whatever. That's I don't know what that means. But thank you. And yes, they were heavy. I think there it was mainly the little things on the side. I had them in between my head and my glasses, and the glasses were like pressing them against the side of my head. Not the best way to have them on, but here we are. It already feels a lot better, so it was definitely the cat ears. I'll have to find a better way to put them on with headphones and glasses and shit. Okay, we're checking target base wind vol. Is that equal to Like, are we setting, is it equal to the original or 0? It's one or the other. So let's say, is it equal to 0? If so, then I know that I'm coming from the original wind vol. Do I? Yeah. Yep. I know that, and if target is the original base wind vol, that I know that I am originating from 0. And I'm leaping from that to target base wind vol. And then time mod, which I was doing up here. Time mod equals base. I could just copy and paste that from up there, but I don't care at this point. I am gonna have some variable that I'm gonna be adding time.delta time to. I will create a new variable for that. Let's call it. I'm gonna separate these out so it's easier. Float target, no, base wind vol change time. There. Coming down here. Evaluate tart base wind vol change time divided by, going to be divided by the other variable I created, which was something similar. What did I call it? Base wind volume change time. Is that not the same thing? Base wind volume change. Yeah, it is. Okay. So this is how much time it will take, and this is how much time has currently been taken. Base wind vol change. Let's do this. Are there subheaders? No, I'm changing this. Hold on. Base wind vol change duration. There we go. There are not subheaders. Wind ambience. I wish there were subheaders. I want like wind ambience, and then I want like volume and pitch. That's fine. I will separate these out too, though, to make them more clear. Also, I should be doing this. Yeah, that's much cleaner. Much better. Everything's so close together. Cramming everything together. Let's see. Oh yeah, I guess this is something new with my setup, is this microphone arm. It's been really nice having a microphone arm. It's a lot nicer. Actually, I guess from this perspective, it probably doesn't look as any different than what it did before. But I had this like on a little arm that just like was like that was attached to a little base that sat on my desk, and it wasn't the longest thing, so I kind of had to have it kind of next to me and like took up desk space. But this new arm is like retractable, and like I can easily move it around, and it's like I just have it like clamped to the side of my desk, and it's like really out of the way and really nice. Would recommend a microphone arm. Underrated, rated / underrated, overrated. No, not overrated. Yeah, the other two. What was I doing? Duration, change time. I have a change time and change duration. Time mod, change time divided by the change duration. Just like that. That'll be time mod. So then base wind volume change time will be going up by a constant amount by time, but then the curve will change how this gets, how this changes over time. I guess I'll show that in a bit. And then that gets inserted into the lerp, and then it'll change how this volume gets set. So let's see. Base wind vol changing. Right. In this case, I have entered the gap. I have entered the gap and target base wind volume. Wind volume does not equal target base wind vol. If I enter the gap and target base wind vol does not equal 0. And base wind vol changing. Base wind vol changing, and it's not, we're not changing at the moment. Or no, because I want this to be able to change freely between the different stuff. If it's not equal to 0, then I would like to change that. That means that we are either at the base wind volume or somewhere in between. It's not base wind volume, that means that it is original based wind volume. Original wind volume. Which means that we're already at that volume, or we're getting to that volume, either or. In which case, we would like to change base wind vol to be 0. I feel like I remember you needing to specify if a number is an F or not in some cases. I don't remember which cases. So sometimes I always put the F, sometimes I don't. Or if I mean if it's an int or a float. I don't know how that works completely. But I'll run into it if I run into it. Okay. So like this piece of code should only run once for the most part. Like when you enter the gap. When you enter the gap, that we're doing this check as well. And then we're setting this to where this will now be false, so this won't get set again. So then I want to change wind vol change time to target is 0. I would theoretically do 0, but in the case that we are in the middle of 0 and original wind volume, I want to give it a jump start. Target base wind volume 0. Got a bot. Let me get rid of this bot. Wait, does this not... Does OBS not let you ban people from here anymore? Oh no, there we go. There it is. Block. Oh no, there it is. Ban. Ban. There we go. There we go. Got it. Got the spam out. Target base window. Where was I? Yeah, I want to give this change time a head start, which that is going to be based on original wind vol minus current base wind vol, or just base wind vol, which might be 0, in which case there's going to be no head start. So we take this amount and then we divide by, I think, original wind volume. And if these two are the same, this is going to be 0, and so we're going to start the change time at 0. Whereas if base wind vol is like, if like original wind vol is 1, base wind vol is at 0.5 because it was on its way to getting to original wind vol. We're going to have a head start of 0.5 because this is going to be 0.5 divided by the 1, which is 0.5. Let's say this is like 2. If this is 2 and this is 1, this is gonna be 1. This is gonna be 2. It's gonna be 1/2. And that's correct. Yes, that's what I want. *H is old lingo for pressing the delete backspace key, connecting to incompatible or misconfigured systems. For pressing the delete backspace key, connecting to incompatible or misconfigured systems would render the wrong keystrokes and commands being sent through the wire. The Alien Isolation soundscape made me think of old stuff like that. Not a bad thing. That game's audio has crunchy vibes that add a lot to the visuals. I agree. I did not know about that. That is, and I am a programmer by trade, but I only know so much of the history of old culture of programming and computer users of ye olden days. I know some of the stuff. I've heard tales and things, but yeah, that's neat. I see. Okay, yeah, I'm just rereading that. Cool. Now where was I again? This is complete. This is complete. Is that all that I need? I'm going to need a way of changing base wind vol change time plus equals time dot delta time, except Base wind vol changing, continue that to be 0. Actually, I think I don't need that. I think I just need, as long as base wind vol does not equal target base wind vol. We want to do these calculations and stuff. And I think I will want this to be after, possibly. Because this thing is right here, so this is gonna get, this thing is going, like on the first frame that you enter the gap, this is gonna get set, and then it's gonna do this right away. Yeah, so I want to do this at the end of this, so then it'll get loop back around, come back here, and then it'll be good. Got the time mod. This might, do I have everything set up? I need the functionality for when you get out of the gap. So I believe it's the same thing, except that it's, you're either greater than the wind gap start Y or less than the end gap Y, and target base wind vol is not equal to, it would be the other one, so original wind vol. If it's not already equal to that, then we will set it to that. And then the change time will get set to something different. Actually, the alien isolation stuff, ambience is perfect for this very coding heavy stream, now that I think about it. Let's see. And then we're going from 0 to the original wind vol. So instead of this, progress would be measured in, I think just actually this. Whatever the base wind vol is. Because that'll be in between 0 and original wind vol. Yes. And when that's 0, that'll be 0. And that's perfect. Base wind vol not equal target base wind vol. If they do not equal, keep blurping until eventually the time mod is going to get to 1, and then it's going to be equal to this, that's going to be equal to that. I think this is good, actually. Let's see. What variables did I have? I want to get rid of the unused variable that I create up here. Anything else that I don't use? Nope, I use everything else. So everything else is good. Base wind vol change, let's make it like a second, why not? And then let's do like this kind of curve. And to see this in action, I need to go to my debug script. I want to be at checkpoint maybe 6. I think it's 6. I'll turn up the volume of the game so you can hear what I'm hearing. And because I'm going to be fiddling around with this for a little bit. Okay, good to go. Let's test this out. The little wind sound that you hear sometimes is just the falling sound. I believe it's the same sound as the wind sound, so I'll probably need to be, doing different sounds for this. But I think I spawned too quickly, or spawned too close to the gap start. So I need to go 1 level up. Then we'll start again. Why? It did it right away. Why are you doing that? Target. That is because I am not setting target base windfall to be base windfall, I think. Target base windfall, let's see, is that true? Is that true? Base windfall, original pinball. I want all of these things to be equal to the same thing. The name, target windfall. Target base windfall. It's so interesting you can do this. I think there's actually quite a few languages that can do this. Or if you're all setting stuff to the same things like this. It's a great idea, the alien isolation background soundscape. I think I will try it soon, but now I wonder what other games also could offer some interesting background noise to have while working. Yeah. I mean, in terms of like aesthetics, like yeah, this works perfectly. But otherwise, I mean, I put on like all types of soundtracks and stuff. Like I listen to Yume Nikki, Machinarium, Fez, Hyper Light Drifter soundtracks a lot. I don't know what I've been listening to lately. I think my top's a little too big. Okay, I think I solved that. It's the reason it was cutting out right away is because of the target base windfall was defaulting to 0 because I didn't set it to anything. And now it should be setting to, defaulting to the wind volume, so it shouldn't be lerping between anything. And it should work. And yep, it sounds fine. It's cut out. I think I need to test the lower limit. Actually, wait, I want to test the boundary too. Like if you were to like climb back up, which you can sort of do. Not very well, but you can do it. Just fall down. This is all spoilers, by the way. Can I make it up? I don't remember where I put these. I don't remember where I put the gaps. Start is a bit up there. So if I do it like here. Okay, I'm not doing, okay. I have a, I'll just set this back to where it needs to go later. Gap start, I just want to test this. Let's break that. like like there or something like that. Yeah, like that. I'll bring this way up. So the y of that is -731, -744, yeah. Alright, coming back doesn't seem to be working. So like, see what's happening. Let's debug.log base winvol. I want to see how this is changing. And I want this to not be full screen. We're just over here. It's at 0.744, which is the default. And then we trigger it, it goes down to 0. And then it is not going back up. And why is it not going back up? Because this is an and, not an or. That should be an or, because you can't be both greater than that and less than that at the same time. So you're either greater than that or less than this, and that's not equal to that. That should solve this. Let's test it out. Seems to be transitioning on the top. Let's come back in and back out. All right, that works. Got it. Let's just change this to go back down, like way lower than that. Just something like that. Doesn't matter. I'll change it later. Change this to being back over, like, I think right here would be a good spot, right? This little transition. There you go, where you get into like a little tunnel. That should be fine. That Y value. Save project. Get rid of this debug.log. And that looks good. And I think that's where I'm gonna stop it. I did a little thing, got something done that I wanted to get done, and I also implemented the pitch changing, which added a nice little touch. Base wind pitch. Separate that out. Yeah. Cool. I do want to change where these are located, because these are only changing this wind gap is only changing the volume. I want that to be grouped up over here. It's a minor little thing. Cool, and it's kept the values. Okay. Cool. I'll take my leave. Wish you success on your endeavors. Might catch you later. Thank you for stopping by. I probably missed you leaving, but yeah, have a good night. Here, let me take this thing off my to-do list. When the sound cuts out at the bottom until you get to the ending area, that is done. That's a nice. That'll be nice to accentuate this like last area. And then next after this, got some. Probably fiddling around with the values of how long you can stay in the air before you like black out and teleport back up. Because that's the challenge with this game. There's some more level design stuff with some of the different levels. I also have to do some level design for the different secrets that are scattered around. I probably won't do that on stream. I'll keep those a secret. Gotta do some sound stuff. And then I have to do this like resetting to your last checkpoint functionality. I gotta figure out exactly how I want to do it yet still. But I think I have a pretty good idea. And then I need to do some stuff for scripting wise for keeping track of the secrets that you found in the game, like your progress with that, and then you'll be able to get to this like ending area if you found them all. Gotta do the programming for that, and then I could just like work on what level design after that and sound stuff pretty much. It's coming along. It's coming along. I see it in my head. See the vision. I think it'll be good. There's some areas that I'm not so sure about right now, but I just need to iterate on them some more, I think. And then I think they'll be better. I'll feel better about it. I think adding more sound, like I have in like my game No One Is Here. I think adding sound like that will add a lot, like various like little bits of ambience and some more unique sound effects. I might replace the footsteps. I might also leave the footsteps because these footsteps are from the plugin that I've used. They're not like default Unity ones, so they're a little less used. So I might be able to get away with just keeping those. And I kind of like how crunchy they are. Like you're walking on like sand or like, I don't know. I kind of like it. But I'll see. Maybe stretch goal. But I'd like to get this out sooner rather than much later. But yeah, I might do this again. I think next time will be a little more coding maybe, or maybe I'll do some more level design, which will be a little more visually pleasing. And we'll have the more ambience or something going on at the same time. But yeah. Thank you for stopping by, anyone. Thank you for the follow, Frades. Let's see. Going to my stream manager. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if I have anyone viewing right now, but I will raid someone. I don't know. Let's just go with Vine Sauce. Playing Animal Well. Well, no, I think I'm good. That's fine. Okay. Well, Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for stopping by.